So some aspect to think about when you are presenting grammar. For example, one, should my lesson follow a deductive approach or inductive approach? Rule, examples. That's what I mentioned, yeah? We just mentioned, what does it mean between deductive and inductive? So deductive is what? The inductive, that's what you mentioned, yeah? You start with examples, and then you figure out the rule. The deductive is the opposite. You give them the rule, okay? And then you give them what? Example, okay? So this can be one approach, okay? How should I present grammar? The second approach. Are the activities used targeting explicit learning or implicit? So do you know what the explicit and implicit? And I just mentioned those two terms, yeah. So explicit is focused on grammatical form, accuracy, and metalinguistics. Implicit is fluency, automation can be retrieved easily in spontaneous speech. Okay. So explicit is what? You focus on what?
On the form. Accuracy.
Yes, the form. Except that it is, you focus on that one, okay? Accuracy, okay? Implicit is for what? For speaking, communication, yeah? For fluency, okay? You don't care about the grammar. You want the student just to speak, yeah? And to be fluent in what? In speaking and all that, okay? The explicit, no. You want the student to, when they speak or when they write, it should be they focus on the form, yeah? It should be accurate, okay? So those are the differences, okay? Okay, so implicit learning, why, okay? So look at the table below, rank the items, the left column according to the criteria listed on the top. So you have here some type of foods, okay? And here cheap, healthy, tasty, and all that. So this is just an example, okay? So implicit is what? Maybe for example you have this table, you give it to the students as activity and you will ask them, okay, tell me about this table, the organic food, is it cheap or is it healthy? So they will start to speak, yeah? So you don't care about what the grammar, okay? You just want them to speak and give you information, okay? So this can be an example. Give me other examples for implicit learning.
We can start a topic and just basically talk about it.
Yeah.
Maybe what trip did you go this summer? They start to talk about
good.
it. What did you see?
Yeah, and?
For implicit?
Yeah.
So maybe let's start with an image or a video, and
Yeah.
then they can give their opinions.
Yeah, good. I remember when I was, in my master's degree, I have to teach in summer. They have summer camp in the US, okay? I have to teach kids, okay? So, and I am assistant to the original teacher, okay? So what she did, the whole summer, a whole month, that summer camp, they were teaching kind of history, Hitler and Germany and all that, okay? So they start with video, they watch actual video, okay? And then they have the books, the stories about Hitler, okay? And then they started to draw and write their own stories and reflections based on what they have. And it is interesting because the students, they are from different religions, firstly, they are from different nationalities. So imagine sometimes how they discuss all these kind of ideas, yeah? It's great, yeah? Because someone, maybe they like Hitler's, Germany they don't like him, and maybe other countries, yeah? Okay? So that's can be what implicit learning, okay? Okay. Here an example of explicit learning. So change the following sentences into the past tense using the indicators given in the brackets. For example, here now he lives in London. Last year, we have English and math today, yesterday. Okay, so this what is the grammar. You give them grammars, okay, structures and prefixes. Okay. So what you focus on the form and accuracy. Okay. So why? What does the research say? So does intervention have an effect? That is, does the grammar focus instruction affect students' learning of language? Let's divide this into explicit and implicit learning. Okay. So do you know what intervention means? If you use that term for early childhood education, it would be different. It's like التدخل مبكر, yeah? It's if you have special needs students, what kind of plans you have to do and work with them and all that, so it's different, okay? But here interventions means for example, you teach students, okay? And at the same time you intervene with them, just to correct their errors and all that. Or maybe if you have, sometimes they call like intervention programs, like the tutorial programs and all that. Will it help for like, you know, to learn explicitly, okay? So it depends, okay? What the meaning can be, okay? Okay. For example, if you are teaching and you are focusing, what we call it grammar focus instruction. What do you mean by grammar focus instruction? That term. It is the explicit learning, yeah? You teach, yeah, and you instruct. You focus on what? On the grammar, not speaking, okay? Okay. So does the grammar instruction affect explicit learning? Yes? It would be very surprising and discouraging if the answer were no. Because as we said, yeah, the grammar instruction is what? It is what the explicit learning, because you focus on the form, use and meaning. Okay. Does the grammar instruction affect implicit learning? Yes and no. Yes and no. Two complications. How do you measure implicit learning? What exactly do you mean by grammar instruction? Okay. So that term, when we say grammar focus instruction, can we say is it implicit learning?
No, because we're focusing on grammar. And implicit, we just want them to speak
Okay.
regarding the mistakes and the grammar. So grammar instruction is explicit.
Yes, it's mostly to like, yeah, it's mostly like explicit. Because if you think is it like implicit, you have to think about others, yeah? How will you measure it? For example, if you teach the students implicitly, how will you measure that they learn, yeah? Maybe it's not easy. Because your focus is what? The speaking, yeah? And they are actually making mistakes. Okay? Okay, so how do you measure like implicit learning? Okay, usual techniques, learn, diffuse, spontaneous speech. Okay? So implicit learning, you're teaching them. How will you measure it? Yeah? Okay, if you are a teacher, how will you do that? What will you do as activity?
Implicit learning?
Yeah?
And based on them speaking, I would know what is their level. So maybe, for example, start the term with just speaking about your summer vacation, and that's how I'm gonna notice who's good, who's excellent, who's weak, who needs help, based on.
Yeah. Maybe you can have a record, yeah, to what they are saying, and then you try maybe to print it out, yeah, when you transcribe, and then with them maybe you focus on the grammatical mistake. So you think of different activities, okay? But at the end, if you move from implicit to explicit, you have to teach the form, okay? Okay. So what exactly do you mean by grammar instruction? So this is crucial. Research suggests that sometimes grammar instruction have an effect on the implicit learning and others doesn't. Okay? Okay. So grammar instruction that may have an effect on implicit learning. Look for activities that encourage for students to pay attention to the grammatical form and the meaning. Okay? So here it means like, you know, you want to, grammar instruction that you teach grammar, yeah? Okay. And you want to teach it what implicitly, yeah? Okay, so you don't want to focus like, you know, heavily on grammar. But in a way, you have to think about, okay, how can you include what? The grammatical forms and the meaning, yeah? Because it's not only about the grammatical forms, you move on to the meaning, yeah? It's more to the focus on the meaning, okay. So here you have an examples, okay? If you read the examples, so you have the verbs and all that. Like here, text enhancement. And here, example 2, you will see like structures input. Okay, example 3, information gap. So these kind of what questions and activities, okay? So you try to help them to move from implicit to more explicit, to focus on the form, okay?
Yes.
So here you see, you underline what? The verbs, and from that you can check if they write it like accurately or not, okay? Structure input. So, for example, which one of the following are true? So you give them For example, horses are often ridden by people. People are often ridden by horse. So you get what the right sentence, but in the same time, actually you are what teach them grammar. Okay. The third one, you know that, yeah. You what? Fill in gap. Okay. The information. So for example, the student A, the horses were ridden by the, and continue and all that. So by practicing all these kind of specific questions, you actually what teaching them what grammar. Okay. You are using what different type of questions. Okay.
So the point is that if we focus too much on implicit learning, for example, they might talk and speak, but they won't learn anything. But if we focus on explicit,
It doesn't that they will learn. They will not learn anything. But it's hardly to measure.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So but if we focus on explicit learning way too much, it might be boring.
Yeah, and they will learn just maybe the form, not the meaning. But the implicit, you move to the meaning. Yeah, and the context.
Okay, so we have to mix between the two.
Yeah, so sometimes you have to balance between both of them. And it depends on the level of the students and also the purpose, yeah? If they are, for example, they are learning for IELTS or INSAT or, yeah? So it depends. They want to learn the forms or they want to learn just, for example, if they are learning for writing, academic writing, they have to learn the form, yeah? They will not write anything, yeah? It will be wrong. If you are writing for academia, for let's say for research or journal, so you have to think about the form, yeah? Like the ESP courses, English for specific purposes, you have taken these courses, yeah? So it depends what will be the focus. Okay. So all these examples encourage students to pay attention to the grammar and the meaning, okay? So grammar instruction that seems not to have an effect on implicit learning, activity that involves sentence manipulation or creation where students do not need to pay attention to meaning. So the implicit is what? So it depends on the activities, okay? So here, as we said, grammar instruction that seems not to have an effect on implicit, okay? No effect. So activities can include sentence manipulation, creation, where students do not need to pay attention to the meaning. Okay, so here examples, add yesterday to each, so different examples, okay? So here one of them you choose the correct form. Here let's say create a proper sentence using the following elements. You have some words and you reorder to write a sentence, okay? The first one, add yesterday to each sentence and make any necessary changes, so the past tense. So all these examples require students to manipulate or create sentences, don't require students to pay attention to meaning. Okay, so here what they try to focus on